This is Asia Times News Video.
This is David Goldman, Asia Times Deputy Editor, speaking to you from New York City the evening of March 22nd. Well, what if they gave an economic stimulus and nobody came? The presumption of American economic policy is that the federal government will put trillions of dollars, so to speak, in a helicopter, dump it out over American households. The Treasury will issue trillions of dollars of bonds to pay for these dollars coming out of the helicopter, and the Federal Reserve will buy most of the bonds. And people will party, and retail sales will go up, and gross domestic product will rise, and we'll have a recovery of sorts. But what if people don't do that? In February, unexpectedly, retail sales fell by 3%. Of course, they had a big pop in January after a stimulus check came through. But still, the February decline was unexpected, and the news we're getting for March is actually a bit alarming. If you look at the chart, this shows the monthly change of sales at the same American retail outlets, at the same stores, as tracked by the Johnson Redbook service. And during the first half of March, we observe a decline month on month of 18%. Now, we haven't seen that in the entire series, which begins in 1996. And it suggests that people may not be spending their stimulus. They may be squirreling money away for a rainy day, that they're too smart to be fooled by a one-shot charge of cash out of a helicopter. This is a one-off event, and best to put it away against prospective hard times. In fact, inflation doesn't necessarily make people spend. As Robert Mundell, the Nobel laureate in economics, showed decades ago, inflation reduces our wealth, and so it often causes us to save more in order to compensate. And of course, trillions of dollars of government deficits tend to be inflationary. Now, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has assured us that inflation is still below the Fed's magic number of 2%, and he's promised that he'll keep interest rates low indefinitely. But as we've been discussing in recent days, the market doesn't believe that. The longer interest rates have been going up quite sharply. And the problem is that people see a lot of things that they buy going up in price very sharply, not just energy, but for example, houses and cars. The overall consumer price index is held down artificially by very low rents, but since there's a federal moratorium on evictions, it's not clear what that rent number means in any case. Now, the Johnson Redbook number, shocking as it is only one data print. We don't want to make too much of it, but it does indicate that there's a big risk of catastrophic policy failure on the part of the Biden administration. And if people don't spend and the economy stagnates, that won't be good for the stock market. So be afraid, be very afraid. This is David Goldman speaking to you from New York.
This is Asia Times News Video.